So number one, let me ask you, what are you going to do with a bigger platform? If you don't know what you're going to do, you're not going to want a bigger platform. So first of all, you got to know why you want a bigger platform, okay? Erica, can you share this all over the place? I'm going to do it too. And then we are going to get started right away with Mr. Josh Bell, our violinist. It is pretty cool slide deck, but I'd much rather you see it. But hey, I'm just going to share it. So here we go. Sharing to my page. Awesome. All right, once again, guys, where you're from, jump in, go ahead and say, look, here's the point. Josh Bell, he's this crazy violinist. He has, his tickets are $1,000 a minute, $1,000 a show. He makes a crazy amount of money. People won't even cough at his show. They're super jazzed. But guess what he does? He goes down to the subway, believe it or not. He goes down to the subway. He plays. Many of you know about this. It was in Washington, D.C. And what happened? Barely anybody stopped. Why? Because he didn't have a platform. He didn't have anywhere where people could see or hear him. And I'll tell you what, if you're an author and you don't have a platform, you know what I'm saying. You know that it's tough. It's absolutely tough to get an audience these days. And there's so many people around, and you need to be seen and heard. So how do you do that? I'll tell you how you do it. You need a platform. A platform is something that gives you the ability to be seen and heard. So look, here's the point. There's three ways to get a platform. One is to buy a platform that costs a ton of money. Just look at the last presidential election. A lot of people were spending a lot of cash. And guess what? Did it work? Well, you got to feed the machine. You got to keep feeding the platform machine. And what happens when you stop feeding it, right? Nobody pays attention to you. So I'm not a fan of buying your platform. If that's the only thing that you're going to do, you're going to run out of cash, all right? Even Oprah. Oprah's building her platform today. She's trying to buy her platform just like a lot of people. It takes constant money. The other way that you can build your platform is you can build it. How many of you have a podcast? Go ahead and type in the notes below. Tell me if you have a podcast, if you have a blog, if you have anything where you are creating content and trying to build your platform. You might have a vlog, V-L-O-G, but a lot of people are spending a ton of cash on their platform. And is it working? By the way, I don't see a lot. Oh, there we go. Karen, 3 blogs. Excellent. Fantastic. Daphne, I'm going to show some notes, folks. Listen, if you want to be seen and heard, if you want me to broadcast you all over, you got to put some comments in, okay? So I don't even care if you put your website in there, all right? I'll broadcast it. But here, a lot of times people, they're building their platform. That takes a lot of time. So buying it costs money, building it takes time. What's the third way? Borrowing it. Borrowing your platform. That is the secret sauce. That's what I'm going to be teaching about tonight. So many people do not know this. It is an art. It is an art, and it is a science, and it's fantastic. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to try one more time to do a split screen. I really am. So hang with me, and I am going to just try to do this. I don't know if it'll work, but I just want you guys to be able to see this. If it doesn't work, that's fine. Let me see here. So I see it here, and I think I can do a split screen. There we go. I think I can do a split screen, and I'm gonna, yes. Can you guys see that? Can you see my little Josh Bell? Let me know if you guys can see that, seriously. Go ahead and type in. Can you guys see this? Because I would love for you, you can see it. All right, we're rocking. We're gonna do this. Hang with me, I'm gonna move this puppy over. This is so old school, but you guys are with me. All right, this will add a cool element, okay? So there's my buddy, Josh Bell, all right? And you can see him. Awesome. So here's the point. You gotta learn, check it out. There are 3 ways to get a platform. Buy one, borrow one, right? or build one. I'm a big fan of borrowing somebody else's platform. All right. Why? Because look, they are basically inviting you up to the show, and they're saying, here's the microphone, go ahead and speak, Karen, right? I mean, that's what they're doing. And let's check it out here. A couple more things. All right, here we go. 12 steps for how to partner with the big fish. How many of you say right now, I would love for a big fish to partner with me? I would love for somebody else to promote me. Maybe you say, I'm an author. I don't like to self-promote. I mean, I meet a ton of authors who say that, Kary, I don't like to, Mark says, build, borrow, and buy. Absolutely. A ton of people say, Kary, I don't like to ask other people to follow me, to get my stuff, this type of thing. Well, I'll tell you what. A big fish is someone who has influence, right? A big fish is somebody who essentially can motivate people to action. And in today's verbiage, we represent that with a platform. A big fish is somebody with a platform, and it's a very good thing. So I'm going to give you guys 12 steps. So who's ready for the 12 steps? Anybody? Anybody wants them? Daphne says, I would love to partner with a big fish. Here we go. First of all, I want to share that this works, okay? This is the same system that I used to get on Entrepreneur on Fire 3 times, okay? I'm going to share some results real quick. So you're like, is this guy really telling the truth? Is this guy really legit? Hey, I want to share some quick wins. It helped me get on Entrepreneur on Fire. It helped me get on Here's a Talk Show, one of the longest TV. It's one of the longest standing TV shows. I know only my mom and grandma watch it, but it's the 700 Club. How many people have ever seen the 700 Club? Anybody? Okay, here's the point. Like, I used these tools to get on the 700 Club. I used the system to get on Entrepreneur on Fire. Everything that I'm going to share tonight, you can use and you can follow. And you might say, Kary, it works for you, a bald dude with a girl's name. By the way, I'm going to move some light closer. It works for you, buddy. But does it work for anybody else? Absolutely. It works for Cardiff Hall. Cardiff Hall just used this formula the other day, and he said, how many of you know Cardiff Hall, by the way? He says, Kary, I use this formula, and I partnered with a female that has a huge podcast, and guess what? Now I'm a guest on her show. So some of you saw that update the other day. This helped me partner with Brian Tracy, right? And again, I apologize, it's not a big screen, that type of thing, but I do want to see your notes. And I might expand it one more time here. Hang on. I think I can do this. Yes, we are going to get this thing. All right, we're rolling. There, now you guys should be able to see a little bit bigger. Cool? All right. So it helped me partner with a ton of people. And some of you know my story, that it even got me on the, well, look, let's just talk about it. Why does Hanes and Gatorade, why do they partner with Michael Jordan? Is it because Michael Jordan is an underwear expert? Is it because he knows all about Gatorade? No, it's because he's a big fish, and a lot of people follow him. And so a lot of brands begin to, this is crazy, guys. It is actually something that when you partner with a big fish, it leads to other big opportunities, because people say, whoa, you were on that show? Well, that show's bigger than my show. And so, yeah, I'll bring you on my show. So this is why if you can land a partnership with one big fish, seriously, life changes and you're kind of in, you know what I'm saying? Because everybody else who has a smaller platform says, well, gee, if they partnered with him or her, then there must be something about them. There must be a bigger reason. And I would be a fool not to partner with them. And so we call this a ladder up strategy. All right. This is a ladder up strategy where you partner with one person and then everyone under that begins to say, well, gee, come up to my platform as well. So let's just talk about a big platform, right? What does a big fish provide? It provides influence, impact, and income, what a lot of authors want. And how do you gain favor with these people? It's not by being a fan. Write that down. Big fish do not partner with fans. Can somebody type that? Seriously, I just want you to realize that. If you run up to a big fish and say, oh, I'm a big fan, I got a poster of you above my bed and I fall asleep every night staring at it, that's going to freak out the big fish, right? You do not want to come across as a fan. Big fish do not partner with fans. Big fish partner with people who they feel is a partner up for them. It's a partner up. In other words, big fish say they don't always want to partner down with people. Why? Because you do that too many times as a big fish, and you know what? You lose some of your platform. All right. The only person I know who did that successfully was Jesus Christ. All right. He kind of partnered down a lot, which is pretty cool. But I'm just going to say that in the world of the economy of attention, we call it pay attention. The new currency today is eyeballs. It's attention. And if you want to pay attention and get other people to pay attention to you, you need to partner with the big fish. You can build your platform and, 3 people will listen to your podcast and 5 people will read your blog. Seriously, how do I know that? Because that's what I did for years. I'm not ripping on anybody. I'm just saying, can anybody say amen? Can anybody agree with me that to go say, you know what, I'm going to shut down everything and I'm going to go create a podcast and I'm going to gain 6 readers, 6 listeners? That's not a really good strategy. And when people say I'm going to go start a podcast or a blog, I question them. Because starting a podcast is a 52 product a year commitment. Let me say that again. It's a 52 product a year commitment that you are going to now create a weekly episode of a podcast. And where is the money? Nowhere, because it's a digital breadcrumb. A podcast is a digital breadcrumb that leads people to the big meal. And if you say, well, what is the big meal? That's your content. That's your course. That's your book. That's your coaching program. And folks, if you're liking this, share it, please, okay? Share this, please, because I'll tell you what, Erica's going to go through at the end, and everybody who's shared, she's going to actually give you a gift. We designated that gift. So go ahead, type in the word share when you do. That would be fantastic. We got a big party going on right now, but a lot of people are missing out. Why? Because I know there's close to 600 people in our 6-figure author 5-day challenge. And we don't have 600 people on now, so I don't want these people to miss out. So, all right, get them. Thank you for sharing, everybody. Fantastic. So here's the point. Here's what happened. I'm going to give you guys 12 steps to gain favor with influencers. 12 steps for gaining favor with influencers. The year was 2013. I had left my day job, and I was supposed to write a book. And I thought, you know what? I don't want to write this book called The Gift of the Present that I was supposed to write. I said, I want to write a book that hits my heart. I want to write a book that excites me. It's a book that people are asking me how to write. How do you go from day job to dream job? How do you do that? And so what I did is I basically said, I was watching Shawshank Redemption, and I said, oh my gosh, Andy Dufresne. Andy was in jail, right? Andy broke free. How did he do that? He went from prison to plan to payoff. He went from prison to plan to payoff. And I'm watching in my house the cable version or whatever of Shawshank. Maybe it was a DVD. Who knows? But I'm watching it and I'm like, this is what I'm supposed to write about. I'm supposed to write about how people are stuck in their prison and how they need to go pro with their passion and how they need to break out from the Shawshank of their day job. And I'm watching this, and all of a sudden I get the big thought that, you know what? I need to go to Shawshank, and I need to write this book. And I had this crazy idea, and long story short, I went up to Shawshank, and I actually got permission to go in Andy's cell right there and write the book, Day Job to Dream Job. I'm going to cut through a lot of this stuff and get right to the meat tonight, folks, because of the tech stuff that we had in the early part, and I apologize for that. But here's the point. This is the #1 movie of all time. When you are an author, here's the first tip. When you are an author, do not think that the media is just going to get so excited because you wrote your book. They're not. You have to show how your book relates to the larger conversation that's happening in the world. For example, today, oh wow, there's tons of stuff going on. Just flip on your news. And if you can have content that matches what's going on in the world, suddenly you're invited on as a guest, right? You could write a book today about racial issues, and immediately they would bring you on as an expert, and you would talk all about what's happening in the world today, and you would talk about it from the lens of your book. When Angelina and Brad broke up, right? You guys remember that? And who knows, maybe they're getting back together. Who knows? But the point is this. If your book's on marriage, suddenly you're invited onto the shows if you follow the principles I'm about to teach, because they say, next up, we're going to have Laura speak about the 7 ways that you can divorce-proof your marriage. And if Angelina and Brad would have used this, they would have saved their marriage. Folks, this is how it happens. As an author, you need to say, what does my book talk about that's larger, that's going on in the world? And you fiction writers, if you're a fiction writer, type in the word fiction. Because my book, Elixir Project, I absolutely did that. My book's all about fiction. It's all about human hacking. But yet I was able to show media how it ties in with what's going on in the world today. Long story short, I followed the 12 steps that I'm sharing right now, and guess what happened? I got invited to be the Shawshank author at the 20th anniversary. I actually got to launch my book. That's the warden right there, and that's the warden from the movie. He signed the book. There he is holding, where did this go? This went in the Daily Mail. This went in the New York Times. This went into the LA Times. All these things, all these pictures. The point is this, it happened. It happened because I followed the principles. I didn't run up to the warden and say, hey, I'm a big fan of Shawshank, and you know what? I wrote this book, and will you please like hold the book up for pictures and launch it with me and all this stuff? No. What I did is I followed these 12 steps, and you're going to find step 1 here in just a moment. And what it did is it brought me center stage, and it wove me into the fabric of the 20th anniversary, and I launched the book with the warden as part of the invited program. That's how crazy it is. This bald guy with a girl's name. So here's step 1. Number 1, decide your desire. Decide your desire. This is the first step to getting a bigger platform. You need to stop trying to just buy it and pay for Facebook ads, and that's it. You need to stop building your platform alone. I'm not saying those are bad strategies, but those are smaller strategies. The biggest strategy that you need is borrowing your platform, and it actually works. I don't care if you say, I don't know Hollywood celebrities, I don't know all these people. Stop taking inventory of what you lack and start taking inventory of what you desire. So the first thing that I do with every author is I say, what do you desire? Seriously. And you who are my students, you know this. I get you to pick your top 10 endorsers. How many of you have picked your top 10 endorsers? I'm going to look here. Write them down. Write them down. Any of you who are my students, did you identify your top 10 influencers? Go ahead and write that down. And I'm just going to highlight some of you because that's one of the early steps. If you don't even have endorsers on your radar, shame on you, right? I mean, stop asking for people to ask you to their platform if you don't even know who you want to ask. So Laura, fantastic. Laura, I'm going to say, boom, look at you. She identified her top 10 influencers. Anybody else? Mark did as well. Donna, wow. Lisa, look at all these. Daphne, all of you are my fantastic students. I love you guys. Dennis, here's what happened. You began to identify your top 10. And guess what? Some of you pushed back in the very beginning. You're saying, Kary, this is dumb. I don't even know these people. Why would I write these 10 people on a list? Because what happens, folks, is your subconscious mind begins to solve that problem for you. I can't get into it today. Wendy has done this. Someone just recently did this and got a celebrity. It's the homeschooling author who's in our tribe. I just lost her name, but I know you and I can see you, but I can't remember your name, but that's okay. Here's the point. This system works. You're from Taiwan, by the way. This system absolutely works. And Terry, that's right. Thank you, Terry. It's Terry. So this system works. She months ago said, I would love to have a celebrity, and this is who it is. And then guess what? A few months later, she has that celebrity. It happens. But unless you identify who these people are, don't ask for them to bring you on their stage, okay? Terry Capshaw, exactly. Thank you. Thank you, Tanisha. All right, number 2, know your value. Some of you right now are saying, Kary, I have nothing. I have nothing. I have no money. I have no fame. I have no contacts. And you say, you regurgitate these phrases that we've all grown up with, right? It's all about luck and chance. It's not what you know, it's who you know. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, seriously. Did I know the warden before I had that desire? No, absolutely not. I'm going to teach you guys really quick how Warren Buffett, okay? By the way, I'm giving all this talk from memory, all right? So just, you got to roll with me, all right? We're having fun. But I've internalized this message because, look, Warren Buffett, you think a billionaire, right? A billionaire, what does he need? I'll tell you what he needs. If you don't know the story, there was a famous story about a reporter who wanted to get with Warren Buffett. And she wanted to get an interview. And it took her like 2 years. And finally he said, okay, fine, you got 10 minutes. And guess what? He walks into the room with this interviewer. She pops down a can of cherry Coke, cracks the top, and says, Mr. Buffett, I just want you to know that I want to start this interview with a cherry Coke because I know it's your favorite beverage. You know what Warren Buffett said? Young lady, you've just earned another 2 hours. Do you know how much 2 hours cost to be with Warren Buffett? All right. She worked for 2 years to get 10 minutes, and she bought, I'm trying to get here, right? She bought a 50-cent cherry Coke and gave it to him, and suddenly that bought her 2 hours. Stop thinking that you have to be rich to partner with big fish. Do you know that Oprah has a hairdresser? Okay. Do you know that the Bill Gates has someone who shines his shoes? Look, it's not what you can give these people monetarily. Sometimes it's the thoughtfulness. I identify the 10 people. Seriously, you want a map? Identify 10 people that you want to get on their stage. And then what you need to do is you need to surrender absolute selfishness. Okay? I'm going to give you guys the hard truth today. All right? Number 1, write a list of 10 people. Number 2, absolutely surrender ego, surrender selfishness. This worked for a guy named Barnes. Edwin Barnes, by the way. Look this up. Google this if you don't believe me. Edwin Barnes was a tramp who had 0 money, and he showed up at Thomas Edison's laboratory. This is found in, I believe it's Think and Grow Rich. If you know this story, type it in, right? Say, I've heard this. I've heard this, Kary. But he said, I am absolutely going to not only work for Edison, I'm going to become Edison's partner. He had nothing to give Edison. You would have thought in that moment right there, he was crazy. Think and Grow Rich, absolutely. Everybody laughed at him. Everybody laughed at him and said, you're going to be his partner, ha, ha, ha. Edison said, you know what? I'll give you a job. Sweep the floors. And for 2 years, Barnes swept the floors, but he knew that with proximity is power. With proximity is power. So he was around Edison sweeping his floor. While he's sweeping the floor, he's not sweeping the floor. He's thinking about who Edison's talking with. He's thinking about what inventions he's seeing all around him. He's building up his knowledge of how one day, when the moment, I tell people, write this down. Write this quote if you like it. When you prepare for the moment is prepared for you. When you prepare for the moment is prepared for you. Barnes prepared himself for 2 years. And when the moment came, Edison launched this new product, and all of his salespeople laughed at him. They said, this is stupid. It's not going to work. Barnes said, I will absolutely sell that thing. And guess what happened? He began to sell it. And Edison was impressed. And not only did he sell it, he began to dominate it. And he began to massively buy out regions so he could be the only person who distributed this in that region. In other words, Barnes, our second point today, Barnes knew his value. Barnes knew his value. He said, look, I don't have anything in my pocketbook. I don't have anything in my calendar that's important, but I know my value, and I'm going to prove it. to Edison. And I'm going to partner up. I'm not going to ask for charity. I'm not going to, tell this sad story, but I'm going to show that I have value, and that's exactly what he did. Let's go to number 3. Oh, by the way, here's know your value. I got to go quick. By the way, Erica, please share the link. Guys, we're doing this on my, but we're not going to do it on the author page too much more. We're only going to put this content in the free 6-figure author 5-day challenge. Why? Because I'm going to give you 5 days of crazy emails that are going to help you literally walk the path to become a 6-figure author. Okay, if you like what you're hearing tonight, it's free. Okay, you can unsubscribe if you don't like it. Okay, you can leave the private Facebook group if you don't like it. I'm not going to hold you hostage. This is absolute value. This is my heart. I believe that you have a book inside you. I believe that you have a message that needs to get out, but you're going to struggle unless you understand how to get a bigger platform. I took a survey the other day. I said, what's the number one thing you need? And by far, double of what the other one, number 2 was. Number 1 was, I need to get a bigger platform. So I said, you know what? If we get 500 people in this group, I'm going to do it special teaching on 12 steps to get a bigger platform. And it's all about partnering with the big fish. And that's why you guys are here tonight. And so here's number 2. Clarity attracts, confusion repels. Clarity attracts, confusion repels. If you don't know what your book is about, you need to figure it out. Okay? Barnes knew, just like that reporter knew with Warren Buffett, she was clear. Warren likes cherry Coke. I'm going to get him cherry Coke. Edison needs a supporter and a champion for his new product. I'm going to be that champion for his new product. You need to know your value. If you think I have nothing, who am I? What can I do? This person's so bigger and higher and mightier. You've already shot yourself down. They can feel that. They can feel the lack of self-belief that you have. And so if you think I shot out of the womb with confidence, not at all. I'm a former self-injurer, right? I'm a former cutter and a former stutterer who had to basically overcome all that stuff. So to me, this isn't like, oh, you got this thing oozing out of your pores. I struggled. I thought I was worth nothing, and I contemplated ending my life as a young adult because I thought, you know what? I don't have anything to give. But what I did is I reset my self-image, okay? It's called a self-image set point, and I reset that. And if you want to learn more about that, hang with us these next 5 days. It's going to be awesome. Anyways, I have this whole exercise called the drive-through drill. I don't have time to get into it tonight, but basically it's a way that you can, in one sentence, articulate your value in the marketplace. I don't have time. I'll do a special teaching, guys, once we hit 1,000 people. Remind me. Somebody remind me. Erica, can you remind me? Do the VPS teaching, okay? I'll do that. All right. Well, here it is. Here it is. But again, we don't have a lot of time to get into it tonight. I'm just going to tell you the formula, and then we'll talk about it later. I am blank. Who helps blank? Do or understand blank so that blank. I'll teach you how to do it later on, but that's the formula. And you literally need to have that inside your head so that when you have the opportunity to talk with somebody who is a big fish, that rolls off the tongue, okay? If you don't remember anything, remember this tonight. Partner up, collaborate across, mentor around. I got this from one of my mentors, but he always said partner up, collaborate across, and mentor around. Some of you are trying to collaborate. I'll put it this way. Some of you are trying to partner with people you should only collaborate with. What does it mean to collaborate? Collaborate means that you bring the same skill set as somebody else. And when you do that, that is not a partnership. In other words, if you're a good speaker and you like to do seminars, don't partner with somebody else who's a good speaker and likes to do seminars. Why? Because you're going to outwork that person. And what you're going to do eventually is you're going to keep score, because that's what humans do. And you're going to fill the room full of people, and you're going to be the crazy good speaker, who fills the room, and this person is just going to want to be walking on stage. They don't fill the room. And what you're going to do is you're going to end up resenting each other. That's what a collaboration is. A collaboration is a date. Think of it as a short-term date. You guys are dating. That's a collaboration. A partnership is like marriage, okay? When you partner with somebody, guess what? They bring 100% in a skill set that you're not good at. You bring 100% in a skill set that they're not good at. So what it is it's a partner up for them and you. You see, we don't know this about Edison unless I tell you. Maybe you know it. But Edison was not good at sales and distribution. Barnes was. Edison was a great inventor. Barnes couldn't do inventing. So what did they do? They got together. And they basically said, look, I'm the inventor. You're the sales and distributor. We make a great partnership. And trust me, what's his name? The guy who writes lyrics for Elton John. Bernie, right? Is his name like Bernie Taupin or something like that? Sorry, dude, that's not even music I like. But if you like Elton John, type in the notes below you like Elton John. But here's the point. Elton John is the great singer. Bernie is the great lyricist. You can go through all of life and you can see these awesome partnerships that one person had no business partnering with this person and getting on their platform, but they did because they knew their value. They showed their value. All right, let's go to number 3, pay to play. Oh, this is a great principle. I so wish we had time in my slide deck to really get into it tonight, but this is a very funny thing that I wish I could show you. Here's the point. You can see the people's faces. Can you guys see the people's faces? I hope you can. If you can see their faces, say hey. But here's the point. This one guy sent out an email to all my podcast friends, and he's like, hey, I follow you, and hey, could you spend an hour with me on the phone so I can pick your brain? In other words, this person wanted a platform, and he was doing it all wrong, okay? What he did is he just sent out spam to all these people, and guess what? They started comparing notes, and they're like, did he spam you? Yeah, he spammed you. He spammed me. And the guy basically ruined everything when all he had to do was pay for one session to get his foot in the door. Here's the point. Sometimes you have to pay to play. One of my buddies, Cardiff, I mentioned him before, he's now the invited guest on a huge podcast. You know what he did? He followed these 12 steps. He paid to play. He basically started tweeting this person, and he started sharing their stuff. And the person was like, oh, that's cool. You know, this person keeps sharing my stuff. They keep tweeting. That's paying to play. They're spending time doing that. But then that's where most people stop, not Cardiff. What Cardiff did then is he said, hey, I hear you have a book coming out. And he's one of my students, by the way. So I taught him how to do book marketing and book promotion because I teach all my students that. If you're one of my students, type in AAE student, okay? Because I love you guys. But here's the point. What he did is he said, I will get on a call and I will help. I'll help promote your book. I'll help teach you about book marketing. And the lady was like, are you serious? That would be amazing. So they booked a phone call and he gave tons of value. Lead with value. Oh, write this down. Focus on being valuable, not visible. Somebody write that down. Somebody tweet that. Focus on being valuable and not visible. That's exactly what Cardiff did. Did anybody like that, by the way? That alone is worth the price of admission. That was free, okay? That has been so helpful for me. Because look, I was the idiot in the beginning, folks. When I wrote this book, okay, The Fine Line, when I wrote Journey Toward Relevance, when I wrote all my, the book called, I was trying to be visible. I was like, hey, can you guys bring me on your show? Can you bring me an article? Can you do this? Can you do that? You know what I did? I changed everything. When I wrote these books, all right, when I wrote Your Secret Name, when I wrote The Deeper Path, Day Job to Dream Job, Elixir Project, I started focus on being valuable and bringing other people value. and saying, how can I promote you? How can I bless you? How can I advance you? And guess what Cardiff did at the end of that call with that lady? She says, you know what? This was so good. Can you be a guest on my podcast? Now, you can't lead with this tit for tat, right? This karma, this I'm going to serve you so you serve me back. But if you take what I'm sharing tonight and literally, if you take what I'm sharing tonight and literally make it your lifestyle, wow, the world opens up to you. I'm not even joking. This has happened so many times. In fact, the reason why we're here tonight on this crazy thing is because I was eating lunch the other day with a dude named Jamal, and we were talking, and I was trying to add value to him, and boom, he just gave me these ideas, and I'm like, that was amazing. And you know what I said to him? I said, dude, anytime you need something, here's my number. Look, that's how I treat people who bring value to me. And I know you guys do too. When you create value for somebody, they are so happy. What did somebody say here? Show up, filled up. Look at you, Tanisha. Mark Williams, valuable, not visible. Focus on being valuable and not visible, Anthony. Cardiff's example was excellent. Gold. Look, you guys are fantastic, seriously. And here's what I know. I made a promise. I have another commitment at 9:30, okay, Eastern. So I'm going to go as fast as I can, but here's what I know. I'm going to have to do part 2. I was not planning on that. I apologize for the first 20 minutes of tech stuff. I wasn't even planning on doing this teaching today, but you guys brought 500 people into the group, so that's why we're doing this tonight. But anyways, here's those podcasters, those funny dudes, and they're all like, what? I got the same one. I got the same one. I didn't get it. I feel left out. Look, people made a joke out of this guy. They weren't being rude, but they were just saying, like, this guy does not get it. Look, if this is the way you're going to operate with social media and big fish, like, hey, I'm going to take out the subject line and put, hey, Bill, I love your podcast. I'd love to get on it sometime. Like, that's not how you do it. You guys know, you who are my students, I have a podcast tour strategy that works. And so many of you have followed it and you've gotten on crazy big shows. Just think about this, folks. If you start your own podcast, you're going to create 52 products. You're going to probably have 100 listeners at the end of the year, maybe more. When instead, if you got on 10 podcasts with 1,000 people each, you've reached 10,000 people with your book by borrowing your platform instead of buying it or building it, all right? Let's go now to number 4. Number 4, show up, filled up. Are you guys having fun? Are you liking this? I'm going to test all the media next time, okay? We tested it. I really apologize because I like things to be perfect, and it wasn't, but it's all good. You guys are so kind. Here's the point, show up, filled up. So many times I meet people who get to finally get around a big fish. They finally get around a big fish, and then they say the dumbest things. Let's be honest, right? They don't know what to say. And so instead they're like, hey, I love your book. Or again, that's not a bad thing. But if you want to be a partner with somebody, you have to study them so that when you get your opportunity, you become an outlier. Big fish partner with outliers. Everybody say that with me. Big fish partner with outliers. They don't partner with people that are just like, oh, hey, it's you. Wow, I'm so glad to meet you. Can I get an autograph and all this stuff? They're like fan. That's a fan. That's not a future partner. That's what the big fish think. I'm just telling you. So here's an example of me, partnering with, the number one leadership guru of all time, right? John Maxwell. And here he is. And he invites me on his stage, hands me the microphone, and says, talk about your book. I didn't say anything about that. He said, I heard you wrote this book. I heard it. You go to YouTube and watch this video. Just type in boom, right? Here's the point. I'm just trying to say, I'm going to give so many examples of this. But how did I get these people's attention? I'll tell you how. I showed up, filled up. I didn't say, hey, I was trying to log in the other day and I lost my password. Can you tell me how to get the password for your program? look, so many people do dumb stuff like that. I get it. I did dumb stuff like that for years, but here's what I said. Whenever I get around somebody, I don't care if they're a big fish. I don't care if they're a small fish. When I leave my house in the morning, I say, I am going to show up filled up. I don't care if it's the police officer who pulls me over when I speed. That did happen last year. All right. My first ticket in a super long time. But whoever I see, I say, how can I add value to this person? Look, I wish I had a cup around me. Let's pretend you got a cup here, right? So many people walk around in life and they give people their worst. You go up to the cashier. Oh, how are you doing today? Not good. I have to be here at 11 working. I can't wait to get off. I can't wait to go home. And you just feel in that person that they're empty. And when a big fish feels around that somebody is empty, they're not like, ooh, let me go run and fill that other person up. Why? Because folks, write this down. Everybody takes from the big fish. Seriously, everybody takes from the big fish. So few people give to the big fish without any ask in return. Does this make sense to anybody? If this makes sense, type in the word "makes sense." This is how you become an outlier. Number 5, you become an outlier by saying, I'm going to show up filled up, I'm going to study this person, and I'm going to find what fills their tank. All right? We're only at step 5, and I got to go. I seriously have to go. We're going to have to pick this up in the inside group. This isn't some sales and marketing strategy. It's not. I have a coaching appointment at 9:30. I literally have to run. I actually asked this person to postpone it 15 minutes just so I could finish this in an hour, but I get so excited. So I ad-lib. Erica, please give these people the free link so that we can finish this soon, okay? Maybe tomorrow, certainly by Thursday. I'm going to finish the other 7 steps. But Erica, can you post the links? I'm going to go to all – see, look at all these slides. I had all these slides. But I'm going to go to the end. I'm just going to say thank you for over 500 have accepted the 6-figure author challenge. We're going to start that on Friday. And we have people, just another 100 that jumped in the last hour. This group's going to get big. There's the link, KaryOberbrunner.com/5-day challenge. And I'd love for you to do that. I told you you'd get a gift at the end if you shared it. So Erica, can you please give people the PDF? I wrote a PDF, and it's called How to Turn a Book into 6 Figures. It's a good PDF. This isn't fluff. It's literally like a 29 or 30-page ebook that gives tons of value, tons of content. Erica, please share that as well, okay? So folks, I had an absolute blast. I apologize, but I gotta run, and we'll continue this inside that group very soon. So thanks so much. You got the first 5 steps, 4.5, and I'll continue on later. So thanks so much. I apologize for the tech. This was my first time with Be Live. Normally I do Facebook Live, but I wanted to give you guys my slide deck. We'll fix it. It'll be cool. Thanks so much. Talk to you guys later. We'll see you.